Thanks so much for asking. For those of you who don't know, I go by vampire pronouns. Sometimes when I feel, kind of like vampy. So my pronouns are vir, or vire, vampire self, or like vir self.
What are we, making up words now?
So like an example of that would be, V went to the store. They're going to be right back. Taking care of Vamp self. Vamp said that they really like chocolate cake, and V's gonna go buy some. If you have any more questions, just ask. I love talking about pronouns and transgenders' identities. Woo, hyperfixation.
Okay, cool.
Now, keep in mind, there are certain countries out there that want to make it a crime to use the wrong pronouns for someone like the young lady we just heard from in the first clip, whose pronouns were just a bunch of made up words. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy weekend Clown World update for you guys today. And as usual, we have, well, very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly who this fella is, but I find it interesting that a lot of these trans women we see on here resemble modern day creepy movie villains. And I hate to sound cliche, but Silence of the Lambs comes to mind.
What the Buffalo Bill?
Now, I'm sure at this point most of you have probably heard about the controversy surrounding Tenant Media and how its owners, Lauren Chen and her husband, paid a bunch of right wing political commentators like Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Matt Christensen a whole lot of money that apparently came from Russian sources. Now, Benny and Tim and everyone else involved said that nobody tried to influence their content, nobody told them what they could or could not say. In fact, most of the people involved had huge followings and made a ton of money before they even signed on with Tenant Media. That doesn't stop shitlibs like this fella from pushing the Russia narrative. Let me be clear about something. If some Russian came to me and said, Mike, we'll pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to put out content, I'm going to tell you what to say or try to push a narrative, but we'll pay you anyway, I would gladly take the money. Roll it.
I told you, mi gente, for how long have I been saying this very same shit here on TikTok? It's been confirmed by the Department of Justice that on the right-wing side of TikTok, along with other social media platforms, you have nothing but a bunch of lying traders, content creators, getting paid by the Russian government to spread all of their bullshit misinformation and disinformation. If you have ever wondered before how come so many of them have such a large following and activity on their bullshit pages in spite of their clear mediocrity, this is exactly how, mi gente. Putin is helping all of these huelebichos with their engagement. And why Russia is doing this? Because Russia wants Trump in power again. And why Russia wants Trump in power again? Because Trump has also been paid by Russia to cause all the chaos and division that he has caused during the past 9 years. The truth is, mi gente, that the entire MAGA cult is nothing more than a walking Russian propaganda machine full of fucking traitors. Stay woke, mi gente.
Say what?
Stay woke, mi gente.
You know what woke means? It means you're a loser.
Now, it makes no difference to these people that the president of Russia literally just came out and endorsed Carmelo Harris. One of the narratives that is unfolding is that if you support Donald Trump, you are a paid Russian shill. And like I said, as long as you don't try to tell me what I can or can't say, shower me with that Russian money. Anyway, another narrative that is currently unfolding has to do with the tragedy that just took place at a school in Georgia. These people are trying to blame it on an inanimate object. Roll it.
My name is Brad Bryan. I am an ordained elder in the United Methodist Church. I am the pastor of Keystone United Methodist Church in Kansas City, Missouri. I have a master's in divinity from St. Paul School of Theology in Kansas City, Missouri. It's the guns. It's the guns.
quickly.
You are a fucking moron.
Now, you know how I can prove that fella wrong that it's not the guns? Because I am literally surrounded by them right now, and I feel as safe as a person could feel. There's an AR-15 5 feet away from me. I have a Ruger LCP Max right here in my desk drawer. There's a Glock 19 in its holster on my dresser that I carry every day. There's another AR and a 12 gauge on each side of the bed in the bedroom. And nothing's happening. They are simply a tool like a pencil or a hammer. And look what's going on in the UK. There are people running around with stabby sticks doing the same kind of damage. Anyway, next up, so this is what I think is a big part of the problem. Teachers like this pushing this nonsense on our children. Roll it.
Just saying, if my 5 to 7-year-old art students can correctly use they them pronouns for their peers and accept non-binary kids without batting an eye, adults should be able to do it.
Enough with the woke shit.
And sticking with this whole teacher theme, this fella is about to become a teacher in a classroom with kids. And wearing that resist jersey with the gay pride flag on it, what do you think he's going to be teaching said kids? Roll it.
Hey everybody, I started my training today for my new job.
Whoa, you have a deep voice.
So I'll be in the classroom soon, working with kids again, like I'm supposed to be. Also, I got my nails done. Check them out. What do you think? Vampire nails suit me, right? Good for back scratches? Anyway, have a great day. Mine's being awesome. Yours should be too.
Get a haircut, hippie.
So when you start putting teachers, like the two we just saw, into schools with these kids that have young, impressionable minds, they come out talking like this. Roll it.
Yeah, I figured I would have to make this video at some point, so Z's are pronouns, what they are, and how to use them, and where they came from. So, Z is an alternative pronoun to he, they, and she. It's not an identity, it's just a pronoun, anyone can use it. Basically, the idea is that they're just gender-neutral pronouns that replace SH or H with X. I have this handy-dandy little chart on how to use them. Gave you a little sec to screenshot there. So you might say, Z took Zerkar to the store by himself. Sources vary as to the origin of this pronoun in particular, but we've been seeing this pronoun being used in books as far back as 1978. And as a common piece of misinformation will tell you, Zer pronouns were created on 4chan by Nazis to make fun of Anne Frank. Zer is the second most common gender-neutral pronoun used according to the 2019 gender census, second only to they, them. I personally use these them pronouns because I don't really care for they. Like, if you don't know my gender, that's fine, but I went by they, them for 2 years, and it just doesn't really fit with me personally. I also like that you can use it in a definitive singular tense.
But it doesn't make any sense, okay? It's fucking stupid.
Now, I figured since the video is called Clown World Insanity, let's send in the clowns. Roll it.
Must I go to work? Must I contribute to society? Must I pay rent? Is it not enough to be a quirked up white boy goated with the sauce? Is it not enough to just have a good time? Make people laugh?
You people are a circus.
Now, I always thought this whole gender ideology stuff was kind of confusing and hard to keep up with, but after listening to this young lady explain it, it all makes perfect sense. Roll it.
If woman sees me as woman, yes. If woman sees me as non-binary, yes. If woman sees me as man, no. If man sees me as man, yes. If man sees me as non-binary, fine. If man sees me as woman, no. If non-binary see me at all, yes.
Don't you get wacky on me. What the f*** are we talking about here?
Hey guys, real quick, we don't have any sponsors for today's video, but I want to give a big shout out to today's honorable mentions, Felicia B. and Pastor Bob Rogers, for each leaving a super thanks on the last video. So Felicia and Pastor Bob, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the continued love and support. So once again, today's honorable mentions are Felicia B. and Pastor Bob Rogers. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, enough of this. Ugh.
You look ridiculous.
Now, we've all heard the stories about teachers putting litter boxes in their classrooms for the students that identify as cats. Well, guess we've reached a point in society where said people that identify as cats are now just greeting each other with meows. Roll it.
Meow. 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 Meow.
I'm sorry, are you saying meow?
All right, next up we have this lovely lady who doesn't want to be called lazy simply because she doesn't want to work. And you can bet your bottom dollar that she bought those lobster tails with her EBT card, which in reality is just mining your tax dollars that the government stole from our hard work. Roll it.
And y'all need to stop saying that people is lazy and don't want to work. Cause truth be told, baby, we just tired of being slaves. All I see is masters and plantations when I look on Indeed. Cause who finna do all that work for the amount of money that y'all trying to pay people? And to be honest, it don't take no hour to make no $15. Gen Z, keep standing on business, baby. Cause ain't nothing like a strong mind and some confidence. Okay. Out of control, baby. Out of control. Oh. Baby, I don't know. What you say?
What is it with you people?
Hey, where are the white women at?
All right, next up we have this fella, Lily, who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman who calls himself a lesbian, but that's not relevant to this clip. Anyway, Lily says that Abraham Lincoln was queer. Now, I've heard stories about this, but I haven't really looked too deep into it, so I don't know if it's true or not. Roll it.
Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was queer? Sure, he was married to a woman eventually, but he had two male partners before that. The first was Billy Green, a man that Lincoln met before he got into politics. Lincoln and Green shared a bed every night for 18 months. Now, the bed itself was smaller than a twin size, so the only way it could have worked is if they were spooning. And you could say that it's just two friends sharing a bed for 18 months, but how about this quote from Green, where he says that Lincoln's thighs are the most perfect any human could be. His thighs. After the two parted ways, Lincoln met the love of his life, Joshua Speed. On the very first day they met, Lincoln moved in and started sharing a bed with Speed. To be clear, Lincoln was a lawyer at this point. He had enough money to buy his own room. But for 4 years, he shared one with Joshua Speed. That is, until Speed introduced Lincoln to Mary Todd, his soon-to-be wife. This is when things get interesting. Now, Mary Todd was a social debutante, a high-class person who it looked good for Lincoln to marry. So Lincoln begins to court Mary Todd. However, this makes Speed jealous. And in the letters between Speed and Lincoln, you can see that the courtship put a big strain on their relationship. Speed's jealousy even led Lincoln to temporarily break up with Mary Todd. But life happens, and Speed eventually had to move back to his family estate after his father's death. And when Speed got married to a woman back home, Lincoln wrote him a letter saying how he was afraid he'd be forgotten forever, and signed that letter, "Yours forever, Lincoln." Now, there's lots more evidence to Lincoln being queer. His historian said that he had a lavender streak, which is code for gay. And one of his later male partners would sleep in bed with Lincoln anytime Mary Todd wasn't around. The documentary Lover of Men goes deep into all of this. But ultimately, Lincoln's queerness does not change his greatness as a leader. Lincoln did incredible things for America when being queer wasn't even really a label.
Well, that's really messed up.
super gay.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip from The View. Now, it's been a minute since we've actually seen any clips from The View, and that is because they were on kind of a hiatus. They took the month of August off, but they are back now and worse than ever. And in this clip, they are talking about how Tim Walz's own brother is supporting Donald Trump instead of him. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
Yeah. Very relatable. I think especially in the Trump era because the country is very polarized. I have family who are diehard Trump supporters. I have family who are diehard Harris supporters, and I have friends on both of those. And this is why I say, like, we shouldn't demean Trump supporters. We shouldn't call them names. We shouldn't say they're cultists or ignorant.
They have issues.
Because we all have them in our lives, and we all have them in our lives, and we love them. And you know how you reach them? Because I engage, and I don't do it trying to tell them they're wrong. I tell them my experience, why I am going a certain way, and I meet them where they are. And if they don't change, it's not going to change my relationship with them.
I do think we should call them names, and I think Donald Trump. I think Tim Walz's brother is dumb as hell, because if he gets into that vice presidential mansion, he's going to miss a lot of good parties if he's estranged from his brother.
What did you say? What the did you just say?
Well, I do think we should call them names, and I think Donald Trump. I think Tim Walz's brother is dumb as hell.
Shut up, bitch! And you ain't black.